Okay, traders, I've just made a full video on, look at these trade signals, the outcome. This is incredibly successful. Look at this. Right? This was from yesterday. And this one here was a close at break even. There's nothing like this anywhere on the internet, as far as I'm concerned. This is so unique. Let me explain something. You manually trade these. You set up the alerts to go off so you don't miss this opportunity. This is going to be a full tutorial, this video, by the way, so you won't miss anything. I just want to show you what's possible here. Up here, I've got two prop firms, Focus Funded, Prop XP. I've got to show you this, guys. I don't think you realize what you're missing out on here if you haven't explored this. 50% off. Right, now you've got the opportunity to use this. Let me show you something. We'll round that off at 10%. That's the prop firm. That's what they're going to keep. But before we actually go there, people are approaching me, telling me, oh, I've got $500. Can we make a difference with that? Well, yeah. Every 10% you gain with a $500 account, okay, you make $50. Why not invest $150? Invest $150. Let me show you something. Look at this, okay? Until November the 2nd, a spooky-tacular offer. 50%, look at this, 50% off. They recommend that, but I'm saying check out this one. Like, if you want to go the 25K, do it. Okay, see how this is 300? There's 50% off. It's $150. And you control 50,000. Don't control 500. 50,000, okay? For a $150 investment with this 50% discount. Let's just go back and think about this. With this spreadsheet, they keep, I think, about 5% of the fees, to be honest. They'll give you 95%. 50,000 at your first 10% reached, you earn $4,750. And it's going to cost you just under $150. Well, it's an investment. Well, it cost you the cost of doing business, right? So that's a business expense. Guys, $4,750 versus, okay, you want to trade your own $500 account. You're risking your $500 to try to make $50. Just doesn't make sense. Why not risk $150 to invest in a $50,000 account, and that's your return on the first 10% reached, and then let it scale up. What's the $100,000 account look like? Guy, that's outrageous. $9,000. Okay. It's $529 for $100,000, so $529 with their 50% off. Okay, 50% off, that's $260. Okay, so if you want to be a little bit adventurous, invest $260 for that, and when you gain a 10%, look at the $9,000. Guys, don't trade your own $500 account. Let's make a little investment. This is a 25K, 1,000, 25,000. This is a 50. This is 100,000. Okay. Either of these options makes a whole lot of sense to me. I'm going to revisit this at the end of the video. Let's get back into how to make this possible. This will be a full tutorial. Yes, we're going to go through yesterday's signals, see how they performed. First up, we're going to go through the new indicator, the imbalance tracker. And what it does, it actually plots this blue and orange markup on the chart, giving you the perfect entry, stop loss and target automatically. Okay, so this imbalance here was taken out, traded through, was an opportunity right there. Okay, so you can come in and copy that, but be independent and rearrange your stop loss as you see fit. What it's doing, it's coming off the 5-minute chart, but it's actually giving us a 15-minute, have a look here, it's giving us a 15-minute time frame signal. Now I've got 6 of these, the same indicator, set up to give me, show you this one. This one's giving me a 30-minute signal. This one's giving me a 60-minute signal, right? So we've got 15, 30, 60-minute, 120-minute, 240. There's a 4-hour signal. There it is. And the other one's giving me the daily. So all of these different time frames will get plotted onto the chart. Now, I came to the conclusion last night that a 15-minute time frame is preferable. And we're going to run through yesterday's trade signals, and I'll show you why I'm going to run with 15 minute as my go-to. In any case, this was off the 5-minute chart. It was a 15-minute time frame signal, but look at the outcome. 3R. Now you've got entry and exit signals. Well, the entry and your stop loss, but you can change that. And you set this alert here for your take profit and or exit. Anyway, I'll go through that towards the end of the video. This will be a full tutorial. So let's have a look. Yesterday's signal, this was the VIX. Nice trade. Then we had a Bitcoin signal. This was off a 5-minute chart. Yep, here it is here. All right, I'll open it up. All right, it gave us this imbalance here. Got traded through, and you can see the short position tool. It automatically sets up on the chart for you. So you can just come in here now and do that. Right click that, create a limit order, select your broker. Actually, I'll log out of this, go paper trading. Okay, right click, create limit, go to market, set your risk, whatever risk you want. Is it buy or sell? And then go down and click sell. I won't do it here. And I mean, depending on how you manage this, but your first exit signal was actually down here. So that gave you 3.24R. Nice. That was the last Bitcoin. Swissy yen. That's a current signal. And Aussie yen. Okay, there's two signals that we want to have a look at for today. Let's just go back and have a look and see what signals these are giving us. Okay, there's a signal. Nice. Okay, so that's the imbalance. This was the setup. Well, we didn't get an exit signal as such. Okay, so this one would be up to your own devices. Yeah, it reached 1.3. Now, the other thing you can factor in is the signal here as well. Okay, so if you receive that and you've got that going on, that's a pretty high probability setup. Okay, gold, look. Okay, going back, see here again, look. See how you've got the signal here. When you see this, it's a no-brainer. So use this as a confirmation. Dollar yen. Okay, there was a buy signal. Okay, see down here, look. So you've got this green signal to back it up. And the other thing that you've got behind you is this trend momentum sink. So if you see a combination of the imbalance signal kicking off, giving you the target, stop loss and entry, you also see two other signals, okay, namely that green one and the trend momentum sink, the momentum sink, giving you the up triangle right in there. I'll show that to you on. You take that trade. It's a no-brainer. The easiest signals for you to follow. Now this one, yeah, that stop loss was taken out. But, if you see a yellow line like that, use some common sense. That's a previous daily, so you might want to consider going above that. Okay, so there's your entry, and it's backed up by these guys. Strong signal. The pound Swissy was giving a few signals. This was one we were looking for yesterday. Wait for the candles to turn green and then red. Okay, here we go. Right, that was nice. Short position, right there. Candles turn green and turn red. Okay, so this one, no, and there's another one. This was a signal that I sent in yesterday. Pound Swiss into here. Okay, that's the idea. Wait for the pullback and then set a momentum sink for a sell opportunity. Wait for a pullback and there's your entry. So as soon as you see a green candle and then they break structure, you're in. Now that turned out really well. Exit signal down here. Okay, so that's 3.7R. Actually, if you follow this strategy with the stop loss, it's a 5R. Okay, there's plenty of tutorials on this. Just go back and have a look at the last 2 or 3 videos I've done, but that's your stop loss level there. So that's a 5R outcome. And then this down here is an automatic signal coming off the imbalance tracker. See the little red thing saying 15? So that's a 15-minute signal there. So there's another very successful day yesterday if you followed this. Now I came to the conclusion that I'm going to be preferring to trade a 15-minute chart rather than a 5-minute chart from yesterday's signals. So short position here. Yep, and I'll explain why. We'll go into that. There's another 2R there. Yep, let's just go to a 15-minute. Now this was probably a little bit tricky given that we didn't see any green candles on a 15-minute. But what I did say was wait for the pullback and then go for the sell. Well, wait for the pullback and then go for the sell. That wasn't so straightforward because the momentum sink only gave one signal up in here on the 15-minute time frame. So you may have missed it if you were waiting for another momentum sink signal on that time frame. Never mind. So, well, what we'll do, we'll just run through now and have a look at these signals that I sent yesterday. And I'm also looking for an opportunity for today. So yesterday we had Aussie dollar. Okay. We can see a bearish divergence. Okay, wait for the pullback and then set a sell alert, buy alert, Aussie dollar. So let's have a look at the Aussie dollar. Okay, that was what we were looking for, the pullback and then a buy alert. Now I'm going to explain why I prefer the 15-minute chart. All right, very simple, straightforward instruction. Just disregard this thing here. That was something that I did, and I'm going to explain why I went wrong there. The instruction was wait for a pullback. There's your pullback, and clearly go on the first green momentum sink signal. All right, so that is your entry point. Long position right there on that next candle if you like. All right, the stop loss, and I mean, look at that outcome. 3R to your exit signal. Where did I go wrong? I was messing around on a 5-minute time frame. Mind you, I escaped being taken out by a couple of pips. And then I ended up closing it early. I mean, look, I go to bed through, just after the London Open. It's my bedtime. And I woke up yesterday, saw that this was trending up, and I closed it at break even or thereabouts. I just wanted to have a peaceful night's sleep. I broke my own rules. I entered up in here just following that without waiting for the pullback. And okay, that's the consequences of ignoring the rules. And I did that on a 5-minute time frame. Now, the 5-minute time frame is going to give you too many signals, guys, and it'll confuse you. I got interrupted numerous times last night because I'd set my phone to go off. And there's an entry on the 5-minute time frame if you want to go down that path. But you're going to get more signals, and it's going to confuse you. Why? Look, the idea was back here. Well, there's a red there. And there's green, so that only gave you. Just stay away from the 5-minute time frame. It's too much. It's too busy. All right, so the 5-minute is out for me. 15-minute. Let's go back to it. Really nice, really clean. Okay, fewer signals, but more reliable. We may as well have a look at, while we're on this one, the last signal from the imbalance tracker. This is our new indicator from yesterday. Let's just close it up. Look at this signal here. All right, so I'm on a 15-minute chart. If we go back, all right, so this is picking up the signal from the 4-hour. See that 4H? And what you want to do when you see this signal, in fact, here's the thing about this, guys. Look, the signal fired right there, that little up triangle, and it's giving you this entry point here. You know what I'm inclined to do? When that fires, and you get your orange and blue markup, just ignore all that for now. This is your first alert, and you want to come in and set a trend momentum sink bullish alert. Any alert function will go bullish once per bar. It's an entry. I like the droplet sound, or maybe flickering. I'll come back to that at the end of the video. I'm going to do a full tutorial on how to set up the alerts correctly. Right, and then if that's the case, this is your entry point. There's your alert there. Take that, and then your stop loss is going to go there. So let's just track that and see how it played out. And there's an exit there. That's 2R. So I would use it like that. Now, the other thing you can do is open that up. Just be mindful that you've got these giving you a bit of a negative. But this back here is telling you that it's all systems go with this bullish move. I did a video on this second high-low signal, so have a look at that video when you see the big signal down here. Okay, so this down here backs up the buy as well, a buy opportunity. And you've got other things going on. See the green background? So it's shifted from red to green. So you've got a lot of things telling you that that's gonna work out. Okay, there's 2 opportunities to exit there. I would go the lower time frame probably. Or if you want to go to the 4-hour time frame, you're going to set a much wider stop loss. There it is there. And where did it end up? Let's just scrunch it up and have a look. So you can trade it with that wider stop loss on the 4H. It didn't give you much more. Well, it didn't give you, it did actually. Look at that, it reached target. So up to you if you want to do an intraday trade on that. So let's just have a look at the next one. So the Aussie dollar, quite nice. The next one was the New Zealand dollar. Wait for the pullback and then set a momentum sink alert for the buy opportunity. Wait for the pullback. Okay, this is telling you that it's going to pull back down here. Let's have a look at the New Zealand dollar. Look at this, guys. That's your entry point. All right, let's explain it. Okay, you're looking for the pullback. So there's your red candles and you're looking for the first green momentum sink alert right there. There it is. Take that trade. Long position right off that signal. As soon as it fires, we're in. And there's your exit signal up there. Stop loss right there, pretty much. There's a little green dot. Okay, we can't see the green shaded zone, but see these green dots? There's the green dot there, so that's your stop loss. All right, if you follow that one, there's 3.7R. Just follow the rules exactly as I'm laying it out. Paint by numbers trading system, it's as easy as that. All right, so another really nice outcome. And I miss these trades, guys, because I'm in bed. And for me to get involved with this, I have to set the alerts to go off on my phone and wake up during the night. So I'm probably going to do that 1 or 2 nights a week. And yesterday I made the mistake of trading a 5-minute time frame. Okay, I don't want to do that again because the 15-minute is just turning out really, really well. 5 minutes going to give you too many signals. Okay, so we go to New Zealand dollar. Okay, 2 really nice outcomes. Okay, the dollar yen was the next one. Wait for the pullback and set a momentum sink alert for the sell opportunity. Okay, dollar yen. All right, that one just range bound the whole time. I would close out at break even. Okay, we got pullback green, and then there's a sell opportunity. It pulled back up into here. So, you probably would have taken it on that candle. There's some red dots above there. It's a non-event. Close at break even now. Just let it go. Okay, so it didn't do anything yesterday. Right there. I mean, who knows? It might work out, but I prefer to trade session to session. Let's just close it at break even and call it a day. Okay, reply. Okay, UJ now. Just call it a day. Right on the dot. Okay, just go back and have a quick look. Righto, here's the last signal from the imbalance tracker. Yeah, not an easy one, that one. We didn't get... Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. Now we're going to do a full tutorial. Let's start. When the imbalance tracker gives you a signal, take the trade, long position. You could run with that if you like. Okay, now it works with our green here, momentum sink. However, see that? That's a warning. And then look what happened. So you need to take a look at this indicator. Okay, if you took the trade, that's an exit signal. So when you take the trade, you've run off this signal. Fair enough. You'll come straight in now, and you're going to go to the momentum sink. Now we're on a 15-minute time frame. I'm going to go through indicator settings, everything. Your indicator settings for the momentum sink is 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour by default. And I'm going 2.5 times the average true range for the stop loss. Go okay, and that's that green shaded zone following price, or the red shaded zone following price. So that's your stop loss. You got 2 stop loss levels. One is the green shaded zone, which kicks in here, and see these dots? That's your other stop loss. Now you got the option of either of those, or between the two of them. All right, the trend channel is giving you that other stop loss level there, the green dots. Now, exits, you're going to, as soon as you take a trade, you come in and you click on the extreme confluence, 3 dots, add alert, and this is going to be your exit alert. Now, let me explain the alert sounds. What I've done in the alerts, I've set up a permanent alert, and I don't want to run through that at the moment because I've already been through it. So if you haven't already, go into here, go down to indicators, and see new Forex signals, TradingView indicator. This gives you the full run on setting up the alerts for the new indicator, which is this imbalance tracker. And these are my permanent alerts, and there's quite a few. Look at them. I'll just scroll down. On every instrument, I've got multiple time frame alerts. Okay, it's all explained in that video. Right, this one's set to 15 minutes. I'll just quickly show you. The next one is set to 30 minutes. If I double click here, I've got 15 minute, 30, 60, 2 hours, 4 hours and daily. So you'll see that it's a 15-minute chart, but everything has got an alert. Like this is a 15-minute chart, but look up here. It's giving me the 4-hour signal. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, this is a 15-minute chart, and you can see it tells you imbalance 15M. That could give you imbalance 60M or 30M, and the stop loss will be according to the higher time. So it's multiple time frames on the one chart. We're just using the 15-minute time frame for everything. So when you receive this signal, enter your trade. If the trend momentum sync is behind it, which it is, and double click in your chart. Okay, you guys don't have this one yet. I'm still working on that, but that gives you a go ahead down the bottom. But these are telling you, be careful, especially this one. So you're setting your exit on this 3 dots, add alert, and let me just explain something quickly here. The entry on these are permanent alerts. They stay there. The entry at alert, okay, once per bar, blah, 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 I use the droplet. Okay, it's under the soft. There's classic and soft. I use droplet for these permanent alerts. For the trades that I'm taking, if I'm looking for another momentum sync signal, I'm going to set this to bring me in, but I don't want the droplet sound. Click that, add alert. I want a bullish, okay? Let's just say I'm looking for a bullish opportunity. This is going to be a temporary alert because I'm going to delete it. In the message, you could type temp if you like. Just to make it easy, at the end of the day, you can do a search for temp and delete them all at once. And in notifications, I'm going to go for the flickering sound. So these are my momentum sync entry alerts. These are temporary. Create. The exit alert, extreme confluence, 3 dots. Just go once per bar for everything, okay? The exit is going to be the horse. Okay, this droplet is permanent. These are my temporary entries, and these are exits. Very different. So you get used to the sound. It's really important. So you know exactly what's going on when it fires. And the other exit you want to, so you set 2 exit alerts as soon as you enter a trade. Then you come into this one, click the 3 dots. Now I updated this one yesterday. Let's just see if they've been updated. You're looking for green or blue exiting. All right, green or blue exiting any zone. You could do that. I might get my developer to add green or blue exiting buy zone, green or blue exiting sell zone. So you can do that if you want. But anyway, you want either line exiting the zone and then create that. So that will fire when either of these lines exit the zone. And then you know that you want to bail at that point. Look, right there, you want to exit right there because what's happening after that? Okay. It's pretty well covered. You've got 2 types of signals. You've got these ones that I'm posting in here, having a lot of success with these. And this is very simple and straightforward. And then you've got, if you've set it up, you've got these imbalance tracker alerts. So here's the thing, we've got some new alerts. Let's have a look at them. Aussie yen, what's that saying? That's coming off the imbalance tracker. It hasn't established itself yet by the looks of it. Okay, so we'll just let that one go. This imbalance tracker will take a candle to either establish itself or disappear. So you've just got to let it do its thing. Well, that was tricky. So this is the imbalance tracker. See how it gave you that, but there's no momentum sync, right? It's giving you a potential opportunity to go long. And as I mentioned earlier, what you want to do, if that fires, is just come in here. If you don't see the momentum sync to back it up, see how there's no momentum sync? Like, that's non-existent. The green momentum sync is non-existent. So there's no trade. You only take these momentum imbalance tracker signals when you've got the backup with that. And you also want to see the backup with this. That's not backing you up at all. All right, so we don't touch it. No go. And that will help you avoid some of these. Let's just go through them and have a look at the last of these signals, just out of curiosity. All right. Now there's a few signals here. Look at them. Okay. Let's check them out. So, all right. Let's have a look at this little one here. Is there a momentum sink? Yes, there is. Okay, that up triangle right there, see that? That's your entry point there. So you take that trade. Long position, but there's a warning, and the warning is what? Look, that's your warning. Be careful, right? So you don't have the confirmation of this nearby, so there's no signal on that one to buy. And this is telling you that this is most likely going to roll over. Yeah, we got a bit out of it, and then it did roll over. But look, how did it work out? Where's your stop loss? It's going to go there. This one was a bit tricky, guys. Look at this stop run. Let me just grab some candles. Look at this stop run here. Stop loss would have been there. Okay, not easy. And you've got all of this telling you that it's not supported. We've also got bearish divergence. Look at the red line. Okay. So you gotta listen. You gotta pay attention. Right. This one's completely different. Okay, we enter. Nice. All right, fair enough. Do we have the green momentum sink? Yeah, absolutely. Right there. So that would be your entry. You just got to wait for that momentum. Yeah, you got to wait for that momentum sink to kick in. So that's your entry point right there. Follow that, guys. Don't take this with this red signal here, no. So that's your entry point right there. Stop loss, you could follow our thing. And then you're going to set your exit signals, and that's your exit. Now, just having a look at this, look, ultimately, you want the best setups. Not all of these are going to work out. I mean, this is ideal. You've got the backing of the trend momentum sink indicator here. But let me just show you an ideal situation. And if you limit your setups to something like this, see how this is in a bearish trend here on a 4-hour chart? This is the perfect setup. So this is a signal coming off the 4-hour chart. Let's mark it up. So we go short there. I'm going to put an eyeball on it. If you narrow this down to this set of rules, you'll do really, really well. See how the 4-hour chart is trending. Lower low. Okay, the pullback. Lower low, lower high. It's trending under the cloud. You want any bearish signal on the pullback. Now here's another signal here. That might be one of mine. Let me have a look. Just take that out for a sec. Okay. Yeah. In fact, let's just grab the eyeball. These are your points of interest. Any one of these pullbacks on the 4H. And you want it to be trending like this. See here, for example, that's nice, but you want the pullback. Right? Something like that. And then, throw an eyeball on it. If you plan your trades like this, you're going to do really well. So let's just check out these eyeballs on the 15-minute time frame. Now we know we've got one set up. So yeah, I mean, see, this is trading the pullback. It's not trading with the trend. So that's a counter trend trade. So the question is, do you want to take that? Just take these sessions out. Let's check the eyeballs. Okay, that one was a little bit extended, but you want to be running with the trend. Be careful now because that could pull right back. Always look at the 4-hour swing, fib retrace, high to low, and expect something like that, a pull back into Fibonacci. But let's just go back now, have a look at these eyeballs. Okay, look, see that? That's green, it's counter trend. These are counter trend, guys. Do you want to take that? I wouldn't want to get involved with that. So don't take that trade. Don't take that trade. Here we go. This is the kind of thing we're looking for, where everything stacks up, bearish. Oh, and that's the one that I marked up. That's the trade you want. And I would say ignore all the rest. You're looking for that bearish opportunity on the pullback. These are all bullish, counter trend, right? So just be really careful. I mean, look, a lot of these are going to work out, and they do. That's what you're looking for here. Let's put a rocket on that and go back out and have a look and see where that showed up on the 4-hour. Where's the rocket? Okay, it's way back here. Still in this bullish. All right, so look, it might be a little bit tricky because a lot of them are going to be counter trend. Okay, so tread with caution with this, guys. But now let's have a look at the Euro Swiss. This is the 4-hour chart. And you want this, you want the 4-hour to be trending under the cloud like that. I mean, this is ideal through here. Eyeball, copy and paste, anywhere through here. Okay, let's just see what that looks like on the 15-minute. Are there any signals? Just find the eyeballs. Well, there's a counter trend, maybe. All right. Okay, see? This is the kind of thing you're looking for. Not this bullish. Okay, you're wanting to catch that trend momentum sync, and you're going to be waiting for the red signal. Let me show you something here. Why did this work? Okay, this is important. So you want a bearish trend on the higher time frame, and you're going to run with the trend momentum sync, right? Now have a look at this. See this red shade? It travels all the way to here. Now have a look at, see these dots? That's your stop loss level. See this previous weekly high? Go above that. So you've got this reference for your stop loss right here. Previous weekly high, okay, the red shade from the momentum sync and these dots. So if you're going to take this trade, you've got to pay attention to our stop loss rules. Don't just blindly go off the indicator here. This is giving you a 1 hour time frame signal. So this is not for the faint-hearted. I mean, you know, if you're going to take the trade, you're going to go off this bearish signal, preferably on a pullback. I mean, you might have entered here, but you've got to go with that stop loss. And I mean, you know, it's telling us to place it up in here, or at least above that previous weekly high. And that gets you out of trouble. And that's a nice outcome. Just have a look at any other. Yeah. See the eyeball? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those opportunities and only bearish. I mean, that's counter trend here. It worked. It's up to you guys. Now, this is for those of you who want to be a little bit more adventurous. This is what we're looking for right here. Look, sell, not buy, sell. There's a sell signal right there. That is perfect. Everything stacks up. Look, this one here is coming off that's coming off the 1 hour. Let me just take it out. Yeah, that's the 1 hour. Let's remove that for a second. This is what you're looking for. It's a 4 hour pullback. Ideal. Okay, there's your signal to take the trade right there. Yeah, you could run with that stop loss. That's fair enough. And there's your exit 4R. Nice. Okay, stick to the rules, guys, and wait for the opportunity. See what else this has got going. To see how these are traveling from the high down. Perfect. Okay, so just use a bit of common sense with this. What this is tracking is the imbalance. And where the imbalance gets taken out, there's usually an opportunity. And a lot of these are going to be counter trend and you don't want to touch them. Use a trend continuation idea with it. Check it on the 4 hour. This is for those of you who want to be a bit more adventurous and independent. Let's come back to these. If you want reliability, just stick with these signals that I'm posting in here. And it'll keep you out of trouble. Okay, guys, 14-day trial. Check it out for yourself. See how this can work for you. Set these alerts to go off on your phone on the TradingView app and just enjoy the ride. Our members are doing really well with this. If you're trading a prop firm account, this is where it's at, 100%. I mean, look at that. Look at that outcome. Speaking of prop firm accounts, look, why trade a small amount of money for tiny returns when you can invest a small amount of money and be trading a bigger account with bigger returns? Read that. And there's a couple of prop firms here that I recommend. This one here is for international. This is focus funded. Use my link and there's a discount code for you there. And this one, Prop XP, for you Aussies and anybody else. Okay, these guys will accept Australian customers. Click this link for 50% off and use Spooky50 before the 2nd of November. People are approaching me, you know, telling me, oh, I've got $500. Can we make a difference with that? Well, yeah. Every 10% you gain with a $500 account, okay, you make $50 to start with. $500. Why not invest $150? Look at this, okay? Until November the 2nd, you've got a spooky-tacular offer. 50%, look at this, 50% off. They recommend that, but I'm saying check out this one. Like, you know, if you want to go the 25K, do it. Okay, see how this is 300? There's 50% off. It's $150. And you control 50,000. Don't control 500. 50,000 for a $150 investment with this 50% discount. Let's just go back and think about this. With this spreadsheet, they'll give you 95%. 50,000 at your first 10% reached, you earn $4,750, and it's going to cost you just under $150. It's an investment. $4,750 versus, okay, you want to trade your own $500 account. You're risking your $500 to try to make 50. Just doesn't make sense. Why not risk $150 to invest in a $50,000 account And that's your return on the first 10% reached. And then let it scale up. What's a $100,000 account look like? $9,000. It's 529 for for 100,000. So 529 with their 50% off. Okay, 50% off. That's $260. Okay, so if you want to be a little bit adventurous, invest $260 for that. And when you gain a 10%, look at the $9,000. Guys, don't trade your own $500 account. Let's make a little investment. This is a 25K, 1,000, 25,000. This is a 50. This is 100,000. Okay? Either of these options makes a whole lot of sense to me. Seriously, you've got an opportunity of a lifetime right in front of you. Here it is. Okay, with that, jump on board. 14-day trial and only $29.95 a month after that. Shout me lunch before it goes up while we're in indicator and strategy launch mode. Okay? Guys, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.